Hi everyone, how are you? It is Friday evening, Friday the 7th, July 7th. So welcome everyone. Let's see, who do we have in here first? Today's question of the day is, what is the most obscure art supplies that you have used? Examples I gave were painting with coffee, tea, sand art, shaving cream, dirt. I mean, honestly, those were just examples. You could choose anything. And down on the list, I also wrote blow torches. I've used a blow torch with art. When you do fluid art, you got to use it to make all the bubbles come up. Anyway. All right, everyone, let's see who is here. Megan, hello. Question of the day, nail polish. Been doing it since I was a kid. That's awesome. Hi, Ev. Does a mallet count? Absolutely. Yeah, then a mallet. That works. Although I'm curious, what were you creating that used a mallet? Or was it just like the end of it with frustration? Or, you know, like, what is it? The Emperor's New Groove, when Yzma is smashing all of the busts of the Emperor with a mallet. That is also a fair choice. CC, hello. Question of the day, coffee and tea, but hated the smell of instant coffee after I finished. Yes, I recently painted with coffee. I didn't have any instant coffee on me though. So next time I went to the store, I went ahead and got some. Sorry, I lost train of thought. Anyway, I went ahead and got some because I wanted to have it on hand in case I wanted to do it again. Let's see. Quite a question. Shaving cream. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of kids' crafts that use shaving cream. Dyeing Easter eggs, and the kids have done like designs on bags and everything. Good morning, Leslie. I do mixed media, so I've tried most of these, but I can't. But I add sand to make texture paint. Yes, and there's some Bria Reese pebbles and sand, like they're just called texture pebbles, but it's like all the way from large to like fine sand. So yes, have done that one as well. Let's see. Down. Heather says, question of the day, I use Q-tips to smooth out the color marks and color pencil pieces. If I push too hard, it gets rid of the direction. Oh, very nice, Heather. I like that. Let's see. Ronnie says salt crystals. I was thinking about that actually, Ronnie, because I think for the background of what we're working on here, I think we're gonna do watercolor. And when you said salt crystals, I was thinking that because I actually have a container of salt that I keep in the office specifically for watercolor. Now, depending on how much, because that works best when you have a lot of moisture for it to all absorb, but you know, with the paper, it absorbs it so quickly. So it's something to consider. I think when we get closer to doing the background, I might break out some of the salt. I don't know if we'll get to the background today, but we'll work on it today. And then there should be, if we don't get to it all, there should be only one more day with this one. But I want to finish it all the way through because I kind of have a vision in mind, thanks to Barbara, and I want to see if we can accomplish that. Let's see, Sarah, shaving cream to dye eggs. Yep, love it. Let's see, and how are you, Sarah? Made it on one time. Salt on anything water-based gives great spider-like effect. Yes, I agree. Let's see. Ooh, pumpkin. Who's pumpkin? Is that a cat or pie or person? Could be any of them. Oh, okay, I'm gonna guess it's a person because pie and cats don't talk on the phone. Yeah, blow torches, exactly. Let's see. Wait, hop down, hang on. Mostly lurking today. Sounds good, bird lady. Let's see. Heather, hello. If I missed anyone, the chat kind of hopped down, so that's why. I love making coffee dyed papers for journaling. Oh, I like that. Done blowtorch. Yeah, I figured you did, Ev, because of the fluid art. You've done a lot of that, and like little creme brulee torch goes hand in hand with that. Not sure if it's obscure, but I learned this year how to make my own avocado dye paper. That totally counts, and that sounds amazing. Isn't avocado one of those ones where you think that the dye would be like brown or green or whatever, but doesn't it like come out some sort of like blue or something? I don't know. There's I follow Boulder Colors, and it's Boulder, B-O-U-L-E-D-E-R. I actually have a book that they put out all on making watercolors, like natural pigment watercolors, and avocados is one of them. I feel like it was an obscure color. Let's see, playing a video game. Ooh, Heather, what are you playing? Let's see, hi Leanne, hi Marilyn, Melissa, Kenny, hello. I used a kitchen blowtorch on creme brulee. Yep, there we go, the creme brulee, and a toaster to do heat embossing. Wait. Did you like have the piece of paper with the embossing powder and then put it in the toaster like a piece of toast? I've set a lot of bread on fire in the past. I'm mildly concerned about that. You have to let me know how you did that. Tracy, hello. Let's see. Wait. You're right. Exactly. Our local sand company laughed at me when I went in with a small container to buy some sand. You know what? It works. Yeah, I could imagine, Bird Lady. Absolutely. Wonderful 4th. Yes, you as well. Hi, Lucy. Let's see. Good, making sure my cat doesn't try and kill my guinea pigs. Ah, yes, the shifty cat going after the mice. And yes, it is 8 o'clock at night. And yes, I have a cup of coffee that is half gone already. But although that means wired me, that means lots of entertaining for all of you. So that's good. Hi, Katrina. How are you? Tracy, hello. Let's see, playing Final Fantasy. Oh, I've been hearing a lot about that. I never played Final Fantasy, but I'm hearing a lot of people are excited about that. How are you liking it? Over the toaster, okay. Okay, that makes, yes, gotta watch fingers, but that makes so much more sense. Like, cause I know that there's like a little liquid and then you put the embossing powder and then you use the heat gun. So I imagine you having like a little piece of paper and then popping it in like toast. And I'm just like, with my luck, I would just set the whole thing on fire. Like, we know how accident prone I am. I'm like, what is that? Murphy's Law. If it can, it will happen. That's me. Hot things, sharp things. I just need to stay away from all of it. There you go. No, silly. Hold it over the toaster to heat from underneath. That makes so much more sense. So much more sense. Okay, well, I think we're all caught up. That was you that went through, Ev. I like it. Thank you. Well, before we dive into the page, which we are going to work on today, we're going to be doing kind of a see-through shirt. I started a little bit on the leaves. Remember, we're using very muted tones, so it's not going to be like a bright, bright green. But before we do that, I had too old school for you. Well, considering I got my first heat gun like, what, 2 years ago-ish? Yeah. Let's see, I'm loving it, but it's definitely mature because oh yeah, that's fair, that's fair. You did start a fire. All right, well then there you go. I guess as long as you have a fire extinguisher close by. But I have a very lovely anonymous friend. Yes, the purple pencils. I have a very lovely anonymous friend who was lucky enough to, oh no, lovely enough to, they had these pencils available at one of their local art stores, and it is the new Prismacolor pencils. So we have the original lavender and lilac, which are these two, which we know they are not carrying anymore. I have these plus one extra of each of these, and then these are the new colors, amethyst and orchid. Now, if you've been a little bit out of the loop, so the pigments for these were no longer available. And so Prismacolor, sorry, my brain is all over the place tonight. Maybe it was the coffee. I'm gonna do a more concise reel at some point, post on Instagram, but I've been working on a little project, so it's sort of taking the side here. But anyway, I'm gonna take a second because my sentences are all over the place. Can we get an exclamation point words in chat? Because words are so hard today. We have orchid and amethyst to try out today. So most of you might have seen Color with Claire. She did, there we go. She did a little comparison on hers, but I was like, well, we have them. We might as well go ahead and try it out. So I have this little grid that we are going to compare them next to. Let's get it a little bit brighter. There we go. So we can get some accurate colors. From what I saw on Claire's, the new colors are just a little bit more muted. They're fairly similar. So let's just look at the pencils themselves and differences that we have. So let's see, let's get these two. Okay, so this top one is the lilac, this bottom one is the amethyst. So differences that we can see in the pencils straight away. I just want to make sure you guys can get an accurate representation here. So for amethyst, the lead, now I haven't swatched these at all. Like I've waited to do it with you guys. Hi, Carol. So the lead itself looks a little bit lighter, just a little bit than this one. Same thing with the barrel, it's just a little bit lighter. The new number for this one is PC1104. The previous lilac number was PC956. Now they don't reassign these numbers or anything. So even though this one is discontinued, there won't be another pencil with this number because that will just get confusing. They do new numbers for all of them. Mashed up the ashes, Elmer's glue, mixed in a paper. Well, there you go. That works. So let's go ahead. We'll do lavender and orchid here in a minute. Let's start with these ones. So let's do lilac here. We're gonna fill it in on this side. I just sharpened it, so it's got a pretty fine point. And I'm not gonna do it light. I am going to do a solid fill of the whole box here so we can see. Okay, so this is a lilac. This is the original color, and amethyst is the new color that is supposed to replace it. Right, I know, but you know, I don't think it'll be terrible because they do seem very similar. I think it'll be doable. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they're more muted, but we shall see. Okay, so now this is amethyst number PC1104. Okay, we're gonna fill in the whole thing. I mean, it's pretty close, but like I said, I can already see that amethyst is a slightly cooler purple shade. And when I say cooler, I mean that it's got a little bit more blue in it than the lilac does. There we go. It's actually interesting. I feel like this one came out a little bit smoother than the lilac. I mean, I did the same pressure on either of it. Let's turn the brightness down a little bit. Let's look at these for a second. Okay, so I would say that lilac is just a hair warmer. And like I said, when you talk about warmer and cool colors, you can take a look at your color wheel. Basically anything on this side of the wheel that has it mixed into it, so any of the red, the orange, the yellow, even a yellow-green, these would all be considered warm colors. Things on this side would be considered cool colors. So to me, out of these two purples, this one has a little bit more red to it, and this one has a little bit more blue, but also slightly toned down. It's hard to say, but I mean, they have very specific numbers. Yeah, Bird Lady, it's very, like I said, you have to have them side by side. Probably because I know the Prismacolors so well, like I can usually recognize the color when they're on it. So instinctually, I would say that color tone wise, yeah, it's so close. I would say that this one was like more related to Parma Violet, but lighter. So it may actually end up working out better having a cooler purple. So, I mean, I'm not mad with that. They got it really, really close. So it could be that the kind of, because surely they used some sort of blend of pigments to make this. So I'm gonna guess that maybe because it's cooler, maybe whatever red pigment they added to it is the one that they don't have anymore. But that's just me guessing. Yeah, Parma Violet, exactly. Okay, so now let's go ahead and grab lavender, which was the original color, but, oh sorry, we can do this with this one too. So differences between the pencils themselves, just looking at the leads. Again, lavender looks a little bit more pink. The orchid has a lighter color barrel and looks like a more muted version of lavender, like I was saying they were before. And the new number for orchid is PC1105. Was there a reason given why they changed the colors? They just said that the pigment to make the colors weren't available anymore. Let's see, they do look very close. In blending, the difference is going to be barely noticeable. Yes, I agree. Sounds good, Emily. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree, Allison. I don't think that it's that tragic. All right, so this is lavender. As we can see, it's a very pinky kind of purple. There we go. But again, like lilac, it's kind of a slightly warmer purple. Okay, and then grabbed it like this. How about we use the end that's actually sharpened? And then this is orchid again. That is PC1105. Yeah, that's really close. And in fact, I was muted, yes, but actually it looks, again, only because I've kind of trained my eye a little bit over the years. I feel like this orchid isn't necessarily a cooler color. In fact, I feel like it's almost a little bit more warm than this one. Like maybe they just added a smidgen of yellow in this one. Obviously not much, but it's less magenta and more warm, if that makes sense. I'm trying to explain it, but yeah, it's definitely a little bit warmer, but gosh, it is so close. It is so close. Yeah, I am considering that they didn't have the pigment anymore, and so they tried to match it as close as possible. I think they did a really good job. And it is interesting because again, I used the same pressure on both of these. I don't know if you can see it, but do you see how much more smooth this one is than this one? Now, these pencils, I haven't bought new pencils, new Prismacolor pencils in years. So even if these were made like a month before I ordered them. These ones, the lavender and lilac I have would have been made like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Yeah, it does, Bird Lady, I agree. So it's very possible that they maybe like updated or changed their formula a little bit, but for the better, I think, if it's gonna be that smooth. It makes me wonder, like, if I were to get a new set of pencils made now, I guess the biggest thing, if they're smoothing their pencils, will the electric blue not be scratchy anymore? That's all I ask. I don't know about you guys, but any of the electric blues in any of my sets has just been so scratchy. Scratchiest of all the scratchies. Oh my goodness. So a big thank you to our secret friend who sent us those pencils, because I was not going to be able to get my hands on it for a very long time. Yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't, Allison. If somebody was trying to mark up the prices, I'd be like, yeah, nah, I'm good. I'll wait for the new ones. So I think they did a really good, I think if the pigment isn't available, it put them in a hard place. And I think they did a really good job of changing, or, getting the different colors. There's really, like, let's say for instance, I were to get a set of pencils and it included all 4 of these, I would be upset because they're so similar. I would be like, what is the point of these ones? Like, couldn't get the lavender. Yeah, I think you'll be okay. No, the electric blue. Yeah, it's consistently the scratchiest of all our pencils. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but the electric blue. Are you talking about another stream? Okay, yeah. See, it's consensus. Like, it's the same thing. There's one in the Karron Dash that is, I want to say it's Castle Earth. Castle Earth, I think, is the one that's consistently scratchy. Yeah, of course. I was just so excited to be able to try them out. None of my local stores had it. Of course, I don't have any like hole in the wall kind of art stores. I have just like Hobby Lobby and Michael's and everything. Oh, gotcha, Ambia. Yeah, I just have Hobby Lobby and Michael's, and so they're kind of big box stores, so they tend to not get it. But yeah, I was incredibly pleased, and I'm gonna make a little reel for Instagram. So if you want it in short form and less me stumbling all over the place, it'll be there at some point when I can get it done. Let's see, Blick has the only has the amethyst, not the orchid. Interesting. Well, I am so pleased though to get it. That way everybody can see it and know that it's like, you can breathe easy. They are very, very similar. I think they did a really good job. All right, well, we are picking up where we left off last time. I did finish up her hair and the rest of her skin up here, but yes, it's so scratchy. Electric blue, I don't know what it is. But what we are gonna dive into is this part, because she has, her sleeves at least are a little bit see-through. Now, obviously this is a PG channel, so thankfully it doesn't, show that it's see-through for under her shirt, but we are going to have this stand out and we'll just have it get more green as it goes in. Now, things that I added to her because we decided to kind of make her a little bit of a fawn, hi Blue, is that obviously we have tiny little tufts of hair on her ears. I added just a slight fuzziness on her arms, like nothing like a lot of fur or anything. And then of course we have the white spots that go down the side of her face, side of her neck, and then down across her shoulders here, kind of like a trill. Right, Melissa, they so are. Of course, Heather, no, you're good. But yes, so that's where we're at with that. If you have any other questions, we covered most of it on the last stream, but of course we already did a bunch of the hair, and I wanted to be able to touch on things during stream that we haven't done already. So first, what we're gonna focus on is the shirt, then we'll move to the vines, and then if we have time, we can start the background. Thank you, Emily. All right, so I always feel funny saying my own name. I love it. So colors that we used last time, let's see, we had sepia red. Wait, let's see. I wanted to say chalk tone, but I don't, no, that was chocolate. So chocolate, and then of course we had the light sienna, right? The light sienna, and then we have a little bit of the brown ochre. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to worry about the different color undertones because we're going to layer the green on top. So for the shirt itself, we'll do something kind of similar-ish to the leaves, but it's going to be a little bit, now I know we haven't done the leaves yet, but there's not a huge selection of greens, obviously, when you do this. So let's actually grab, do we want to do a little bit of the, what is this? This is Solway Blue. Yeah, let's do that because I don't want them to be the exact same as the leaves. And we're gonna have some leaves here as well, which we could do like gold here. That could be pretty, but let's do the skin and the shirt first. It's very possible. That just means we're all chatty and I love it. Now, because this is going to be an undertone, we're gonna start with the skin first and then we will layer the shirt over the top. So if you've been curious how to do kind of see-through kind of clothes, this is it. At least this is how I do it. I'm sure there's a bajillion other ways to do it. So we're gonna start with the sepia red. And as far as we can go, yes. Okay, so as you can see, something stuck on my nail. Hang on one second. Hang on. There we go. Part of my nail cracked. I think I'm gonna need to trim that one. Okay, so what we have here is, you see we've got some shadow, which tells you that this is her arm because you got this line here and here. Now we see a little bit on this side as well, but this part here is going to be more green than this section here because this has got the brown behind it. Now, we're also going to be doing probably a darker green background, so I'm not going to worry too much about the color that we'll put behind here because I'm pretty sure it will all be green. So we're going to start with the sepia red. Okay, we're going to go very lightly again, like we did with her skin tone. We're going to go very light, also because her skin should not be as dark as this skin here because it is, you know, you see it through the shirt. So we just want to get a hint of that color. Like I said, we're starting with the sepia red. And again, we are using the Derwent drawing pencils. Okay, so where this is bunched, it's not going to be as see-through because a lot of that fabric is going to be laying over itself. So we're gonna, and that's the same thing with here because you've got double fabric here. So of course it's going to be even lighter on that one. So right up through here, and then we're going to do a little bit here, and then it'll kind of slowly fade out. So let's see. She's got some creases here and doesn't have the line for the skin. So we're just gonna go really lightly right there. Okay. Now let's go in with, Sue, thank you. Get some hypes in chat for Sue. Exclamation point hype. And use those handy dandy hype emotes. Where'd they go? There they are. I will scroll down. There we go. Thank you so much, Sue. You now have access to all of those handy dandy emotes, but your pencil is orange. Red, orange, yellow. Yes, orange. I had to do my rainbow math here for a second. Yeah, so this isn't your first time, but there is a new coloring download over in the members tab. I probably shouldn't have had coffee. I don't need it. I'm all over the place. It's only half cap though, which is as much as I drink. So it's not fully caffeinated, but enough that I'm perky and less yawny. A long week. I don't know about you guys, but I just felt like it's just a week of Mondays, you know? Cece, did I say hi to you? If I didn't, hello, Cece. And anybody else lurking, hello. All right, so light sienna. Okay, we're just gonna go real light. And we are not gonna be using the blender until after we have the green laid down. Finally replaced my carpet chair thingy. Stays in place, was sick of fighting with the desk. Ah, yes. See, hi Blue, it works out well for me because I do have a rug underneath and part of that is for sound absorption, but my desk holds it down so it doesn't shift at all. Cooking, sounds good. Ooh, Blue, what are you cooking? Yes, you did? Hi again. Okay, good. Hi, Minty, how are you? All right, so that is just a little bit of the light sienna. And then let's add the brown ochre. Well, let's see. I've talked to you guys since the 4th, right? When was the 4th? The 4th was... Oh yeah, I talked to you guys since the 4th, but I don't remember. What did everybody end up doing for the 4th? We had we were pretty easy about it. I mean, we did barbecue and watch fireworks with the kids, but that's about it. Thankfully, the next door neighbors didn't set off their fireworks, so that was good. Okay, that is all I'm gonna do for her skin for now. We may add a little bit more. Oh, Menti, I feel you on that one. You can see fireworks. Oh, now, really? Holding on to those ones. Spent the day cleaning and moving stuff around my house. I like it. Oh, delayed because of smoke. Yeah, I get that. It was hilarious using my shoulder to lift the desk. Yes, I've totally done that, Leslie. I reorganized the office this week. I got a new bookshelf in here so I have a more efficient sticker system when I'm putting together packages. And so I moved a bookshelf over here, but I needed to shift everything on this wall over like 1.5 inches. And so my desk is super heavy with all of the stuff on. So me, like the genius that I am, I got under my desk and did that where I kind of lifted the desk with my back while I was on my hands and knees. I'm sure everybody is cringing at that one, but it worked. I just needed 1.5 inches. That's all I needed. Ooh, mashed potatoes, corn on the cob, pork tenderloin, and then fresh stewed rhubarb with vanilla. Holy heck, Blue! I'm coming to your house. Oh, it sounds like cannons. Yeah, that sounds delicious. All right, we're gonna give this a quick sharpen. So this is our darkest green that we have in the set. And if you're unfamiliar with the Derwent drawing pencils, they are amazing for portraits and they have a variety of muted tones. You're not gonna get anything super like bright green by any means. All right, so we're gonna start with Olive Earth, which is 5160. This is our darkest green. So in these darker areas, this is gonna get it. Now I want this to be like a, I don't know, I feel like it reminds me of like a light chiffon almost. So I don't want to go with something super dark. I'm imagining that it's just a very light fabric. And given that we are kind of coloring her like a fawn kind of fairy, I don't know, I just imagine a very light kind of cool fabric. Okay. Go. So just following the shaded areas here. Now over here, like I said, this little section is going to be more green than the part that is laying over her arm, but we still want to get more green than brown on there. Indicate that the fabric stands out more than the skin underneath. We've got this kind of lighter area here, so we'll leave that for the light green, but we're also bringing in a little bit of blue as well. I'll look up in chat here in just a second. There we go. She gives us these nice kind of shadow lines to follow. Let's see, let's go ahead and do here. And we'll use our blender at the end after we have all the colors on here that we want to add. Okay, let's see, what did I miss? Hi, Deborah, how are you? Anyone ready for a funny mishap? What happened, Leslie? Okay, so now the other two colors, we do have this smoke blue, but I think we're gonna stick with the green. There's a few colors in here that are a nice kind of muted green, probably not green shadow. So the choice would be between using pale cedar or Solway blue, and I think I want to use a little bit of blue. So for our mid green, we're going to use the Crag Green 5090. Ready, Leslie? Love rhubarb. Well, tomorrow we have some friends coming over tomorrow for a game night, and so I want to make, little Emily suggested it, we make pinwheel cookies, and I can make them gluten-free, so I think I'm going to make those tomorrow. And then I am going to make French dip sandwiches, which are pretty easy because I make the broth from scratch, so I can make it gluten-free, and it's actually pretty good. A lot of recipes call for like bouillon, but bouillon by itself isn't usually gluten-free. So I use beef broth and Worcestershire and some other seasonings, and it's really good. So I'll make a bunch of that. There we we go. So you see how we're just getting that really kind of light fabric? Tiles are deadly, so no coming for Emily. Anyways, you slipped on said floor. Oh no, are you okay? Did you injure yourself? Other things that happened since last Friday, we got hit with storms and straight line with measuring 71 to 100, ripped a roof off a building downtown. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad that you're okay. That sounds intense. I know Shannon had some of that. It was interesting. You had a storm going through, and I know you lost electricity, and then Shannon had mentioned she had a storm going through. Now, you guys don't live anywhere near one another, but I looked up the map, and there was this whole line of reaching from your state all the way to her state of like power outages and everything. It was just this massive storm that just rolled through. We actually got some rain yesterday, which was really nice. And we had a non-rain thunderstorm roll through a little bit today. The wind picked up for like 15 minutes and then that was about it. Small piece of chocolate cake with chocolate mousse whipped frosting with chocolate curls. Holy heck, Emily, I'm going to your house next. 98 was waiting for a cow to come. Oh my gosh. I have my hands on to save my knees, but no. Oh no. Oh, Leslie. Oh, yeah, that sounds painful. Oh, that's awesome, Blue. I love that. Don't you love those little memories? And part of it's like a sense memory too. Like I distinctly remember picking blackberries with my sisters. My mom would take gallon milk jugs and we cut the top of them, leave the handle, and then we would thread the handle through a belt. And so we'd each carry two gallon milk, not 2 gallon, but 2 1-gallon milk jugs on either side, and then we fill that up. I've said it before, but my favorite scent in the whole world is a whole bowl of freshly picked blackberries. You can't get the smell in the grocery store. The blackberries have been picked for too long, but freshly picked blackberries, oh man, if I could bottle that, I would just swim in it. But you know, not in a weird way. Oh my gosh, yeah, that is scary. Okay, so Solway Blue is what we're going to use next. And that is going to be our lightest color. So I am pushing just a little bit harder now because I want to fill in the rest of that area that has not been colored on yet. And it's going to give us a little bit of a gradient. Like I said, these are very muted, very subtle colors. So if you are wanting to get out of your comfort zone, say you never do portraits, use this set. Or if you have a tendency to press really hard and you want to get a lighter feel, try this set. If you want to try a completely different color palette and make yourself think outside the box, like this set is amazing. And since there's only 24 in it, it's not going to be like they are. If there was a huge set of it, like these would be a pretty spendy set, but there's only 24 to begin with. So that by itself kind of forces you to think outside the box a bit, which in some cases can just be wonderful for your brain. Let's see. I feel like, because I know what we're gonna do for the background, I'm gonna add just a little bit. I'm gonna add just a little bit of the smoke blue behind it because we are gonna be doing a darker background and I want that to be consistent. Not here because the fabric is folded over a few times, but just where it's kind of, you know, just past her arm, it's gonna get a little bit more of this blue-green. Again, it's all subtle anyway, so it works. But yeah, you see how that kind of pops out from one another? I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so I wanna go ahead and try using the blender and kind of see where we're at. We might need to smooth it out a little bit, use a white. So we're gonna use the Caran d'Ache blender. And we also could use a white paint pen if we wanted to. See, that's now that I'm using the blender, I wondered if I used too much brown. That's a little bit more vibrant than I would like. So we are definitely going to be smoothing that out, lessening it just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab, instead of the white, let's grab wheat. And we're gonna go ahead and go over our skin tone. A little bit more yellow but let's go in with a little bit more white. I want that lighter. And again, once you use the burnisher and you start laying on more pencils, it does get more difficult to layer on more colors. So, you know, go slowly. There we go. I went ahead, like I could have probably skipped the blender, but I wanted to keep the texture consistent with the other ones. Okay, there you go. That's a little bit better. And now we're gonna go in with our darker green. And this is the Olive Earth. And we're gonna go back in and make sure that that green doesn't disappear. I am going a little bit lighter. And if you guys missed it last time too, I'm getting a few notifications for Ko-fi down here in the corner of my computer. I can show you guys the sneak peek of August stickers if you want to see those. I haven't finished the sticker sheet yet, but the 3-inch, the 2-inch, and the mini stickers, the designs are done for those ones. So I'll give you guys a little preview of the sticker. I'm really excited about this one. The sticker sheet I think is going to be absolutely adorable. Okay, so we've got a little bit more of that green. Now let's grab that mid green that we were using, and it is crag green. Because like I said, we want the green to stand out more than the skin tone. There we go. No worries, you're good. All right, so crag green here. Oh, the other question of the day that I was thinking about, we might save it for another day, because I think we talked about it at one point, but do you ever have like a movie that you watch from your childhood that is just kind of obscure, like you can't find it streaming anywhere, like you can maybe get the VHS? I was thinking about that the other day. There was this movie. So when I was younger, we used to watch a lot of feature films for families. I forget what the little jingle was for it. But anyway, there were a lot of them came out. We watched a bunch of them. And there was this one that I think it came out in, thanks, Ev. It came out originally in Australia, and the title of it was Wildfire. Let's use a little bit of light sienna. But here in the US, it was The Rogue Stallion. I remember absolutely loving that movie, and maybe it's because I really, you know, I've always loved horses. Loving the movie, and the soundtrack, it just made me, you know, it was so brilliant. Anyway, I found it randomly on YouTube. You know, one of those ones that comes in like different parts. Hi, Maylin. Thanks, Ronnie. That comes in different, you know, you have to watch it in like 6 parts because it's literally nowhere else. I found it and I watched it and I was like, man, I saw this movie so differently. Like when I was a kid, it was definitely had a very, it was filmed in 1990. So it was like, you know, just on that cusp of not being in the 80s anymore. Like it had a bit of a tragic storyline to begin with. And I felt that I definitely related more with the mother now instead of the kids. But then also like that poor mom, she went through so much. Anyway, it was just, I watched it the other night and I was just like, dang, man, you just see things so differently when you watch it as an adult. Thanks, Deborah. Then a Derwent set and another, oh, absolutely you could, yeah. The Derwent pencil matches up with some of, I don't think so, Ambient, because these are very unique colors. You would just need to search for the most muted colors you could do. You could do this, like obviously, it just might come out brighter. I can't think of any sets off the top of my head that is so consistently muted. Like even Prismacolor, like you have for the blues, you have like powder blue, you've got like a gray green, but there's just a lot of really vibrant colors, and so you're lacking that vibrancy in a good way in this set. But you could just do a different kind of color palette. But absolutely, you could follow on. It's all the same kind of ideas, and you can do whatever kind of colors you want. I'm just using a little bit of Olive Earth here. Continue with that green here. And we could show a little bit of sheerness of this shirt without it getting inappropriate. And by adding some light sienna here. Obviously we're not, you know, showing the outline of anything under her shirt because that was not the way that she was drawn. But if you add a little bit of that really light skin tone, you're getting a little bit of that sheerness. But, you know, not anything that would go on our Only Crayons page. Let's see, just getting, oh, Shark Fest on Nat Geo. Oh, well, I mean, they have like Shark Week, right? I might watch, but I ponder. I'm gonna try to get out. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know, I feel you on that one though. The day I found out I was pregnant with little Emily, I was going out to work. At that point, I hadn't even told Steve yet that I was pregnant because he was in a class and I couldn't interrupt, and I messaged my sister about it, so my sister knew. And then off I went to work, and when I was on my way to work, I slipped in a patch of mud. It was only about, well, you can see in the little camera, it was only about this big, and I fractured my ankle. And it was just a moment of where you're just laying there, like, first of all, I'm like laying there assessing, like, can I move? Because something popped. Like I heard an audible pop when it happened. And oh, hi Trey. Oh, that'll be a fun trip. Was that Pumpkin? Hi Pumpkin. And so like I slipped and I'm just laying there trying to figure out what the heck just happened. I'm concerned because I was just like, oh no, I'm pregnant, and I felt, never mind that I was like 5 days pregnant. So it's like, baby's fine. But I couldn't get a hold of Steve. I didn't think to call my friend that happened to live, you know, 5-10 minutes away, whatever. And I was just like laying there in the parking lot. I ended up calling 911 because I was just like stuck, and I was laying there on the phone with the, you know, with the EMT, and it starts raining and I'm laying in the parking lot, half on the sidewalk, half in the, it was just, that was a heck of a day. Most of you have been here around here know, I've told the story before, but yeah, I totally told, I'm using the sepia red. I told Steve that I was pregnant whilst in the ER. That was when he first found out, when he came rushing to the ER after I had a friend finally go get him, because I'm, you know, in the hospital, because, you know, it's me. I don't think he knew quite what he was getting himself into when he agreed to marry me. How many visits to the emergency room there would truly be? Hi, Alex, how are you? But I did have to tell the guys in the ambulance and everything, because of course they wanted to give me pain medication and they wanted to do x-rays and all that stuff. And I'm just like, I literally just found out that I'm pregnant, and so we need to be careful. And they're like, oh, okay then. But I called my boss from the ambulance and I was just like, so I'm not coming in today. And he's just like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm in the back of an ambulance right now. Like, it's just a very me thing to do. You know, I don't know what it was. Thankfully, I was not all that accident. Well, no, I take it back. I was accident prone as a kid. In the same week, I fractured my pinky toe and broke my glasses. So, you know, that's fun. Oh, awesome. Well, Pumpkin, you keep at it, because being an artist is fun. I'm using Solway Blue, but yeah, I guess I've always been a hot mess. Hey, there is a reason. There is a reason that I keep this little ticker available. 0 days since last accident. I did hurt my elbow, but that's nothing tragic. Right? That'd be awesome. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and use the blender here. Right, yes, Patty, exactly. Oh, absolutely, right? They must have had like sheer, like they would have had the sheer fabric and then a slightly like flesh tone fabric like underneath of it. They did a wonderful job. All right, so same with this one. It's gonna be a little bit darker, but I wanted to make sure that the two sides were consistent. So we're just gonna do what we did to the other side, to this one. So let's go ahead and grab the wheat. Oh, I never ended up in the hospital for bike accidents, but I did have some gnarly bike accidents. But you know, it was the 90s. A lot of time it was like, you're fine, brush it off, like get over it. Anything broken? Nah, okay, you're good. Like the time I thought it'd be fun to ride my bike without my hands or my feet. Children, do not do what I do. It's hazardous. Okay, just using a little bit of white there, and then we're gonna bring in our green again. Right up along those creases. There we go. Right there. And let's use a little bit more of that. Right, yes, exactly. It's just like, it's when things like that happen to you and you're just like in disbelief, but you just like, well, guess that happened, and you just got to accept it for what it is. All right, so now let's go ahead and use the Crag Green. Oh gosh, yes, right? I will say that when I had the 2 kids, my biggest concern was how to manage getting them both out of the car. Obviously, I made it work, but I was just like, yeah, gotta have one in the car seat and getting the other one in. And of course, you know, first time, second time mom, I was panicked about all of it. Now I'm just like, yeah, kids are fine. Before I know it, they can probably start driving, which I'm totally not ready for that. A hedge jumping accident? Does it count? What about a bike rack jumping accident? Does that count? Because I totally did that. And then on my way home from that, I slipped off a curb at the same time. Cast for 6 weeks. Oh my gosh. Yeah. He was telling me I was the only person she knew who fell upstairs instead of down. I fall upstairs all the time. Like, usually if we hear some sort of thudding, like we know that it's just probably me falling up the stairs or some sort of accident. Ah, there you go, Leslie. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Okay. Ooh, yeah, those bike accidents, man. Even Steve has a good bike accident story. All right, so now we're gonna use our blender. He still has a scar on his elbow from it. He might have told that story once before already, though. Okay, so now let's go ahead and use a little bit of the light cyan cut stitches. Yep. Feel you on that one. Okay, and then let's use wheat over the top of it. Smooth it out just a bit. Like I said, I'm going for that kind of chiffon feel to it. There we go. And I feel like we should add a little bit more green on this one because these 2 areas are not the same. So we're going to use that Crag Green. I want to try and be as consistent as I can be. Okay, let's do a little bit here. I've been watching a bunch of those interviews with Harrison Ford with the new Indiana Jones movie. I don't know, has anybody seen it yet? Steve heard that it's not that great. I have no idea what to expect. We'll probably just watch it when it comes out on Disney Plus. But I love seeing the interviews with him because most of the time Harrison Ford is just like so annoyed with everybody. It just cracks me up. Like there was somebody that asked like, if you could be anywhere around right now, where would you be? And like without even skipping a beat, he was like, home. I'd rather be home. This is so him. Well, that sounds good, Trey. And riding a bike barefoot. Wait, what? Riding a bike barefoot with the spiky pedal. Look, a bike bear? What's a bike? Are you riding bears, Ev? What's a bike barefoot? Like, is there a bear-shaped pedal, or did we put wheels on the bear? Were you ever part of the circus? Okay, I really like the idea of using gold for her straps for her shirt. So that's what I want to try and do. Oh, barefoot! Oh my gosh, that makes so much more sense. So much more sense. Oh, I should not be in charge of anything tonight. Oh my gosh. I love that my brain went to actual bear instead of like barefoot. Like well, I apparently can't read worth a squat, so you know, you're in good company. Oh, so Indiana Jones last night has some good tearjerker moments, but it wasn't the same as before. I didn't think so. And I was reading like on the articles, he said he really wanted to kind of point out, you know, come to Indiana Jones as, you know, later stage in life. Like, you know, this is his last adventure kind of thing. Right, bird lady? All right, so chocolate is what we're gonna use here. Steve and I actually walked back down the aisle to the Indiana Jones theme song after we were married. Rather than, you know, Canon and D. No, ba-da-da-da, copyright. I'm gonna stop right now. Although it's so terrible, YouTube won't flag it. All right, so I'm just using a little bit of chocolate right now. We're going for a gold color, but again, it's gonna be a little bit muted because of the colors that we are using. Okay. We should put a little shadow under it as well. Okay, for our Sagnullet, we're definitely gonna need to use the yellow ochre with the brown ochre. Let's just do the brown ochre and the yellow ochre and then see where it's at. And then I think I do want to break out a white paint pen for a little bit of the shirt. Just need to give it a really good shake. There we go. All right, and then we're gonna do yellow ochre here. And then let's actually use a little bit of the sepia red. My head ends up in camera. Let me know. I'm leaning forward a little bit more than I usually do. Not sure I'm happy with that. Let's get a little bit of white. There we go. Okay, let's do over here. Hard when you're not using your traditional colors you would normally use for gold. It's okay, I think we can make it work. Let's get a little bit of the warm earth. Okay, and then, yeah, I think that's okay. All right, so let's grab a little bit of the, what do I do? Let's grab a little bit of the, this is the olive earth again. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit darker on the left. And then same thing here. There we go. I just want to add it, I wanted to add a little bit of shadow under the leaves. Yeah, just a little bit of darkness. That's not too shabby. I like that. Okay, so now let's get back to the chocolate. Another little sip here. Okay. Chocolate here. If you hear the kids out there, they are getting ready for bed right now. And they're, you know, being kids out there. All right, chocolate. And then there's these little dots around here, and I think we're gonna break out the gel pen for those. Okay, now we're gonna get the brown ochre. Sounds good, Patty. Pulling strawberries, nice. Are you making anything? Well, you're lurking, so I won't ask you what you're making with them. Because you got strawberries in your hands right now. Okay, and then let's grab the yellow ochre. Oh. I feel like we need to define this a little bit more, so let's use the chocolate. Oh. Just defining the edge a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's not too bad for minimal minimal palette. Okay, let's get the white acrylic marker. Give this a good shake. Let's grab our sticky notes here. I'm gonna need to get some more of these. Okay, giving this a quick shake, shake, shake. Just getting the white to come down here. There we go, that's better. Okay, so what I want to do, we got the white paint pen. I'm going to turn this just a little bit. Okay. And then around the top. There we go. And here. Let out a little bit extra white, so it's a little thick. I may, once it dries, I may go back and refine the lines a little bit, because I can scrape just like a little bit off if the lines are a little too thick. Okay, so, oh, so I can answer. Plan is to make freezer jam using, oh, that's awesome. Wow, 15 pounds. Yeah, that's gonna keep you busy. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit across the top. Like I said, the idea was to kind of give that sort of chiffon kind of feel to it. Just doing across the very top of it. Let's see, this here. And this one there. We haven't done the gold leaves on that side, so I'll still need to do that. I'll probably do that later on my own. We can keep going on relevant bits. Let's see. Do I want to do the creases? I think if we do this one at least, where it's almost like it's the sleeve. Oh, I put my hand in wet. Okay, it's fine. Fine, we're fine. Everything's fine. It's just a little bit of chaos. There we go. That's not bad. There we go. I might always scrape that one off, but wait, what about toes? Aw, thanks, Lucy. Swatching my new Faber Golds and Spectrum Noir color. Ooh, very nice. That sounds like a fun evening. All right, let's zoom out for just a little bit. Okay, yeah, I'm pleased with how that went. Now, here's what I think we might do, because I feel like it's gonna be a lot easier to do these leaves and stuff after the watercolor is already there. So are you guys cool if we work on the background a little bit? So I'm thinking we need to go background to foreground. So get the watercolor down, get that dried, and then we can layer the leaves on top of it. Because I also, if you watched Barbara's stream, she had her watercolor background and then she added more like kind of shadowed leaves in the back. And I think that's kind of what I want to do. I wasn't planning on doing watercolor tonight, so it's going to take me a minute to get everything together. So talk amongst yourselves. I'll leave this up so you can see it, but I'm going to get brushes here. We've got some watercolor brushes. What do I want to use? We're going to use probably this one. Let's see. I've got my whole I've got my whole thing of brushes here and palettes and all that kind of stuff. So let's get this one. And oh no, that one's upside down. You're not supposed to be upside down. We'll get that one. I think I'll do all pointed brushes tonight. I'm gonna steer clear of any flat ones. Let's see. That's a cat's tongue one. Ah, yes, here's the other one. All right, so I'm going to have out the Let's see. So we have the Arteza 12 round. Putting my arm in the paint. So we have a 12 round, an 8 round, a 2 round, and a 1 round. I'm gonna get some clean water. I was painting something earlier, and so my water is green. I shouldn't have done that with my luck. I would have dumped it all over her and we would have had to make it work. So hang on 1 second. I'm gonna mute you 1 second, but I'll be right back. I'm just dumping out my water. Okay, I got my water. And like I said, if I was for sure going to do watercolor, I would have had this set up already, but I was thinking we were going to save watercolor for the next time, but we're not. We're going to do it here. So got those. Now the watercolor that I want to use, go to my watercolor cupboard here. Those are pastels. We could use watercolor pencils, but I don't think I want to. I think we're going to use the Arteza ones. Just the pans rather than getting out a palette. So I have metallic and regular. So that is what we're going to use for that. I think I have the swatches. Yeah, here's the metallic swatches here. That'll help out a little bit because we are doing white paper. Okay. I'm missing chat, I apologize. Okay, super messy watercolor palette, but is it really your palette if it's not covered in paint? I mean, honestly. And then we've got the metallic watercolors here. I do not have the links for those in the description, but I can add them later. Okay, so time to paint. Ooh, I should grab some salt too in case I end up using enough water that works. Here it is. A little container of salt. And my heat gun is, because the heat gun is always good to have around. I just like reorganized everything and I'm pretty sure I put the heat gun in like oh, this is a perfect place for it. I'll never lose it. Yeah, I always lose it. Like when you finally reorganize and clean and put away and then you can't find anything. Look at my shelf down here. I don't want to go without my heat gun, but I just don't know where I put it. This is what I get for cleaning. Hang on. Oh, there it is. I got it. First I had it in my little rolling cart here. Okay, I swear I'm together. When half the stream is me looking for things, you know, it's a quality professional. I'm an artist. Things are chaotic. You can't expect anything otherwise. Okay. Yeah, it's a palette. Exactly. All right, we're gonna plug this puppy in. Okay. We got everything now. It's only a little bit of chaos, right? Just a little bit. Thanks for everybody for sticking around. If anything, it's just an entertaining circus of chaos. That's all it is. All righty. Let's see. Drop my palette. Here we go. Okay, so I wanted to make sure I had the palette at least for the metallic ones because they look different on white and black. So I wanted to make sure we included that. Okay, so for the background, I don't want it necessarily to be blue. I want it to be more green, but it's gonna have a little bit of blue in it. So let's take a look. Let's put the salt over here at what we have for. There we go. You can kind of see it here and then you can see it in the little cam as well. All right, so let's see. Remind myself here what we've got. That's actually really pretty. I like that. Okay, that one plus, we could just start with metallic. Because I really like this frosty blue and this cactus green. Let's see. Night, Dawn. Thanks for being here. I'm glad, Leslie. It's endearing. My chaos is endearing. Let's see. This one next to it. That's also really pretty. Okay. Let's see. How do I want to start this? Because we're going for muted colors. So I don't want to like be like, oh, we have such a nice muted palette and then bam, like this super bright background. So let's grab this teal that we got over here. I don't know what the name is. There's some sort of green schmutz left over here. So, you know, teal with a little schmutz. That's the palette we're using. Okay, and then this one is, that's another, oh gosh, that's another one that's also really pretty. Let's get a little bit of brown to mix it with. So, let's see. Ooh, that's not bad. I don't know if you can see. We're going to shift this over so you guys can see it. You see this kind of color I'm making over here? That could work. And then we can thin it out. Where's the, let's see. Let's get a little bit of a richer green in here. See, that's kind of cool. Got a little, I like that. Okay, let's water it down a little bit. You know what? I think it is going to be better for me if I move my water over here so I am not dripping it across. Dripping it across the page. So we're gonna put that right over there. There we go. Backgrounds scare me? Oh, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. I posted a reel the other day. Now we're doing a background because this one has a border and so I feel like it needs one, but never should feel like you have to do backgrounds. Only do them if you want to do them, but then also like pastels are a really easy way to get into it. Okay, and then let's get our salt open in case I decide to go for it, because that would be really pretty. So if you're unfamiliar with how salt works for watercolors, if you have enough liquid on your page, before it's dried, what you do is you sprinkle a little bit of salt on it, you let that dry, and the salt kind of absorbs the color, so you end up with this almost textured looking thing. So we're gonna try that. The risk for doing it in the books is because this is not watercolor paper, this is not a canvas, this is very thin. And if you add too much water, the paper can, it'll warp, it can tear. And in fact, I have some butterfly clips that, because we're gonna be adding a lot of water here, we're gonna grab these butterfly clips that I have, and we are going to, very carefully, I prefer the white ones because I've had butterfly clips, I can't talk, like these red ones. I've had them leave color on the page. So I prefer, if I have the option, using the ones that will not leave color on my page. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to do just one. Oh, that's a baby one. Here, let's move this big one. That doesn't quite reach the edge of the page. Okay. So we're going to put this little one over here. Thankfully, this is in the back of the book, so I didn't need really all that big of a butterfly clip. Here we go. That holds it. All right, so that'll help to hold the page flat. And what we might try doing, or maybe I'll do it off stream, I'm not sure. Barbara ironed her page. Now, if you have really waxy pencils, I don't know how that would work. Like, would it kind of melt it? But we might try it. I'll probably have Steve bring me the iron if I decide to do it. But what that will do is it'll flatten out the crimpiness. Okay, so we have this kind of muted green that we created. It's pretty dark, but we're gonna thin it out with quite a bit of water. A little bit will go a long way with this. So we're just gonna start by putting brush to paper and hope for the best. So let's zoom in just a tad here. Since we're not using this one yet, we'll close that up, slide this over so you guys can see it a little bit better. We're gonna be working in this corner, so you should be able to see most of it. And then we do have the salt handy because you wanna put that salt down before it dries. I know I'm probably missing a bunch of chat, so if there's something you really want me to see, put it in caps. All right, see, I still feel like it's almost too vibrant though. Maybe we should warm it up a little bit. Let's grab, let's see, what's this? A little dark. Let's grab this one. A little bit of brown. That's better. See, my instinct is to go really bright and pretty and vibrant, but we are going for a muted palette. So I want to try and stick Almost dip my brush in the salt. I want to try and stick with that kind of muted color collection family. I don't know. All right, here we go. Brush to paper. I'm going over the vines a little bit. That's okay. All right, now there's not a ton of water. I don't know if this will work. But we're going to sprinkle some of that salt. Now, this is just the one section. We're going to be adding more, but do you see how the salt already has changed color? Now, we're going to use our heat gun and help it along the way here. And then we should be able to just brush away that salt. So I'm just going to go on low and help it dry a little bit. But that salt is absorbing some of the color. So when we brush it away, it should leave a little bit of white on it. When you're doing it, especially in these books where the liquid is getting absorbed so quickly, you have to work really fast. You can't just cover the whole thing and then put the salt down. If you want the salt to work, you've got to do it before all of that water is absorbed. Like I said, this works better on watercolor paper, but, you know, we have a coloring book that is not. Let's see. Oh, that's still pretty wet. Okay, that didn't work. I didn't wait long enough. Hang on. We're going to brush this away, and we're going to add a little bit more. Because I got too antsy with that. I just swept it onto the ground. I will vacuum tomorrow. All right, let's try that again, shall we? Would pink Himalayan salt? I think I don't see why not. I think we've got some downstairs. But that's more expensive than regular salt. But yes, I mean, you can always test it. All right, so let's get that green again. Okay, we're gonna carefully go over because the more you go over, like I can already see that it's, I don't know that the salt's gonna work for this one. I think we're gonna go through because I can see that paper is already breaking down. And I don't want that effect so much that I'm willing to risk the entire page for it. So I think we are just gonna go quickly. I'm gonna zoom out because I am gonna move rather quickly on this. And we're just gonna fill this in. If it's still a little bit, I keep wanting to put that over there. I keep wanting to dip my brush into the salt thing. If it's still a little bit wet by the time I'm getting this all down, then maybe we might add it, but I think it's too much to ask for this page. Thankfully, we have a lot of this color mixed up. We can layer more if we need to. I'm just going over the vines, that's fine. But if I don't look up at chat, it's because I am trying to layer quickly. Right now, this color is pretty thinned out, but that's good. That's what I want. I will look up at chat in just a little bit. I'm fine with going over these vines. We're going to be adding pencil on top of this anyway. See, it's pretty wet still, so it could work for us to still do the salt. But we'll see. That's going to be a if we can get this done. Okay. Let's see. Here, still pretty wet, so that's good. We're going to need to mix up some more of this color, so I think it's wet enough. I think we can do the salt while I mix up more. So in the brush, let's get the salt. I've got a bunch of salt under my nail now. Okay, yeah, I think that's going to work. I think it is still just wet enough that it will absorb some. Will it stand out enough? I don't know. We're going to find out together. Will it be worth it? Now we need to let it dry. I probably went a little bit heavier on the salt, but that's okay. We're just having fun with it. Okay, that's good enough. Go ahead and put this over here so I don't dump it. Okay, and do I want to help it along? I'm gonna let it absorb for a minute while we mix up, and then if we need more dry time, then I'll get that. But I want to give that salt time to adhere. All right, so let's see. Yeah, that was our color here. Add a little bit of this, yes. Okay, then we add a little bit of the brown. Okay, and we had some reddish brown. Pretty close. That one needs to get a little bit more blue, just a tad more. More water. Let's see, is that pretty close? I think we need just a touch more blue. Now that's too blue. The fine line, I tell you. A bit of the orange, or not orange, brown. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, more water. Sorry, am I missing anything? In clear, I'll be honest, I have never used gesso on my pages. I imagine that it's just not going to be as absorbent. Like, I have a hard time believing that watercolor would work well on top of gesso. I don't know. What's your guys' experience? Does watercolor work well on top of gesso? I'm just going to grab everything that's on this palette here and just mix it all in. It's pretty good. And if the heat gun dries that out a little bit, all we need to do is add more water to it. Okay, I'm going to turn that down a little bit, give you a little bit more accurate. I don't want to put this on high, like, well, I don't know, will it? Nah, okay, it's kind of blowing the salt everywhere. We're gonna put this on low. This time I want to make sure it's dried completely before, thanks Ronnie. I want to make sure it's dried completely before I sweep the salt off, because then that sort of defeats the purpose. So you have to give it more time to dry when you do the salt. Otherwise it'll happen what you saw earlier, where you just smear the paint and it doesn't work at all. So we're just helping it dry a little bit faster than it would normally, but we do need to give it more time. Now, because this is kind of a light color, it's not super vibrant or super bright, the salt texture isn't going to stand out as much, but it will give us something. I can zoom in so you guys can kind of see what it looks like. Brighten that up a little bit. There you go. You see all that salt sitting there? But it stands out more because it's absorbing that color. The what, stat? Wait, stat after gesso? I know that's a typo. I just don't know which typo it was. Which typo it was. Thanks, Sue. All right. Like I said, we colored those leaves, but the background of it is light enough that it's not going to matter. I think I want to go a little bit darker around the edges, kind of get a little bit of a vignette look to it. Oh, scratchy, gotcha. All right, I'm going to test this, see. Okay, I think that's good. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, because I don't want salt completely over my desk, there's already a lot. I'm actually just going to sweep this on the floor and then vacuum it tomorrow. But I want to avoid it being all over the desk. Let's see, did it do anything? Yeah, I think you got us a little bit of texture. Just a little bit. Hang on. Is it worth it? I mean, now that we've done it, I need to be consistent and do it on the other side, but I don't know that there was enough water for it to do too much. I don't know if it's clear for you guys. Let's see. Okay, do you see? That part's got some of the texture there, so I'm gonna see if I can. Okay, do you see that kind of texture right here? It just has that little bit of absorbency. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I can see it in real life. Where did Emily go? To the moon. I'm still here. A more coarse salt. Yeah, potentially. Yep, I can see it. Yeah, it's something small. And I think a lot of it has to do with how much water I'm actually using, because I'm not using a ton. But what I do want to do is I want to add more to this back part. Like I said, I want to create that kind of vignette thing. So now that that's dry, we're going to go over it again. Okay, and I want to be careful because I can feel the texture of the paper starting to break down a little bit. So I'm going to add a little bit more here. More water. I don't know, there's just a look that watercolor gives you that just you can't get with pencils. Okay. Let's try the salt again. It's Steve. Hi, Steve. Okay. I'm gonna do that again. Let's see. Did it break, Emily? No, I'm here. Am I gone? Does it still look okay? I'm here, I promise. All right, let's get more of this color here. I'm gonna zoom out because I want to be able to get down here, but I can only go out so far. Okay, there we go. We can see now. I want to get this down at the bottom. There we go. Okay, let's get a little bit more of the salt. Wasn't there? Oh, another Emily. Oh, yes, there was another Emily here. Emily CC. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and let that dry, and we're going to work on this other side now. So let's mix up a little bit more color here. Hi, Deborah. All right, so we're going to get some of that green, some of this kind of teal color. Definitely bring in some of this brown, some of this red, more water. Oh, she was lurking. I gotcha. I was like, no, wait, I'm right here. There we go. It's coming in. Let's get a little bit more of that blue. I think that's pretty close to what it was. That's the trick, is when you're mixing all kinds of stuff, you got to just remember what it was that you actually used before. Yeah, that's pretty close. Let's add more water to that. Okay. Gesso is the plural for goose. Thanks for that, Steve. All right, so now we're gonna do this side over here again, going pretty quickly. Oh, look, we got some salt mixed in with it. Hey, that's a way to do it. Mix in salt with the paint itself, then see what happens. I think the stuff I mixed up before was a little bit more blue, but we can always fix that if we want. Like I said, it's okay if we're going over the vines and the border. We're going to be doing pencil on top of that. That's why I wanted to work background. Trying to avoid the pencil, I already did. Background to foreground. Yeah, we're covering up the pencil. It's all right. It's all right. Just trying to move quickly. Okay, a little bit more water. And we're definitely going to be drying this because I can feel the paper buckling a bit. Just going quickly, quickly. There we go. Let's get some salt down. We want to stay consistent. Probably using way more than I need to, but it's okay because we'll do another layer of color like we did on this one because we need to connect the middle. So let's go ahead and help this out just a little bit. Oh, fun. Yeah, canvas from Michaels are pre-gessoed. Yeah, we definitely need to make this top part a little bit more smooth. Like, I only ever do backgrounds these days when I have a solid idea in mind. I never want to feel obligated to do a background because then it just takes the fun out of it and makes it more stressful. I don't ever feel like a piece is less than because I didn't do a background. And honestly, I am more for these simple backgrounds than I am something hyper complicated. So like quick fill backgrounds like watercolor or oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Not the King Art gel sticks, but oh, Shannon, what are those ones called? Oh my gosh, I am drawing a blank. Their favorite pastel. What is wrong with me? My brain is not. exe.program not function. What are they called? The you know, they're not the King Art gel sticks. What's the other ones that I use? Oh my god, gelatos. Thank you, Marilyn. I was just, yeah. Anyway, gelatos, pastels, like oil pastels, anything that's like a quick gelato. Thank you, Marilyn. It was there. I was just not functioning. All right, let's test this to see if it's dry enough. Oop, hit the mic, sorry. Nope, that's still wet. I don't want to wipe the salt off when it's still wet again. Over here's feeling pretty dry. Thanks, Kenny. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, ask as many questions as possible. Heck, I ask questions most of the time because I don't even know what I'm doing. I can't remember anything these days. I was thinking of something earlier today. I was like, man, I wish I could ask chat. They'd know the answer. It's a collective hive mind is what we are. So when I don't know the answer to it, you know. Thanks, Leslie. I appreciate that. Okay. Are we good? I think we might be good. All right, I'm going to brush off the... Ooh. Heat gun's trying to make a run for it. Okay, I'm going to brush off the salt real quick. Steve, don't let me forget to vacuum the office tomorrow. I'm getting salt all over the place. I'm either going to be really lucky or really unlucky after all of this. I don't know what the difference is. Okay, brushing all that up. Ooh, that had a little bit nicer texture. Okay, I'll show you guys in just a second. I'm just clearing the salt. There we go. Haha, you're funny. Okay, remind me tomorrow to vacuum the office tomorrow. Okay, that texture actually worked out really nice for this one. Get it in focus there. There you go. You see that? It's a little bright. Let's turn it down a little bit. Sorry, I know. I'm physically incapable of holding things still. I apologize. Okay, so we are going to do one more layer of watercolor on the background because this one's a little bit more blue than this one, and I want to try and balance that. And also, I need to smooth these two. So, thanks. Okay, so let's mix our color just a little bit. So we have some left over. Let's add some more of the kind of teal color. Okay, more of the green. More water. Thank you. Okay, then we want to get some of this dark brown. A little bit more. So, I mean, this is definitely a practice in muted palettes. Like it's forcing me to steer clear of my usual either pastels or bright, vibrant. Like, yes, this is all light, but it's very muted, so it works. More water. There you go. There we go. Let's see. Is that the color I want? I think we need more water to thin it out because I don't want it to be too dark. A bit more. I'm pretty happy with that shade though. That's the trick, is when you're doing a background, you have to remix the color. It's trying to get the same background color. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna push this up just a tiny bit so you can see as I go around. I'm not gonna zoom in super close though, because we're kind of going all over the place here. So we've got our color here. We're gonna start in the corner where we want it a little bit darker. It's a little bit darker than I wanted, but it's all right. It's too late now. We gotta go quickly. Once we start going, we want to try and blend that out. Let's see this side. If I go over on the border or the leaves, it's just fine. Not a big deal. A little bit darker. Oh, that one went. Hey, but that was wet enough I was able to move it. Even though I just said it's not a big deal. That went straight up out of the border. It's not the vision I had in mind. More. Ooh, that's really dark. I'm gonna need to thin that out. Okay. Going quickly. Probably should have grabbed more water for that. Water here. Ooh, that's really wet. Ooh, no, it's too much water. It's a balance, man, especially when you gotta work so fast. make that even. We're gonna add a little bit more on this side right here. I'm just trying to move really quick so I can get that down, get it blended so we don't have any like stark edges. A little bit more right here. Okay, and salt. I'll look up in chat here in just a second. When I'm moving quick like that, I definitely can't stop to look up, so I apologize. Okay, probably making a mess with this, but that's okay. I think we're gonna get a lot of that texture right here. I can see there's a lot of water absorbing that. Okay, what did I miss? Semi-satisfied in picture. I ain't tempting fate yet, right? No, I don't blame you. Yeah, the looseness of it. You really got to kind of go pretty quick. I keep trying to control it and you really can't. Yeah, it's definitely a lesson in relaxing a bit. And here's the part of control that you can do. Is like we did this really fast and loose, right? And I guess I could dry while we're chatting. I did this really fast and loose, and that's okay because even if we want the edges to be a little bit darker, now since we're already gonna go back on top of this with pencil, we can do that by darkening up the edges with pencil. Won't get into the salt. You mean the stuff on the carpet? No, it's too. I'm really not using that much. It looks like a lot on here, but it's behind my desk. I don't see them licking it. I mean, I know salt's not good for them, but that being said, the cats are not allowed in the office unsupervised. The reason being is that Paul, he will not do this to anyone else, but any and all electric is now assault mine. Very possibly, or you know, we're you know doing salt circles to protect ourselves from evil. No, the cats are not allowed in here unsupervised. There is always someone in here if the cats are in here because Paul chews on my electrical cords. The amount of phone cords I have gone through, I hide my headphones, like all of it. I cannot, he is not allowed in the office with very expensive cords all around. So no worries about the salt and the cats. I can't vacuum now though because it'll wake up the kids. But yeah, the doors are not open at night. You go ambient. So yeah, no worries on that. I've got more salt on me though. It's all over my lap. So yeah, no, he has it in like little Emily. She has a little phone. Like it's not actually a phone because she just uses it to like record videos and then you know her and her brother have fun or whatever. But she doesn't actually have like access to internet or data. She can talk to her cousins with it and that's it. Probably not in large amounts. I think maybe the concern would be if they rolled in the salt on the ground and then tried to clean themselves, like it wouldn't be good for them. But that's the same reason why when we make Isis her chicken, I boil it without any seasoning. Yeah, demon-free zone, absolutely. I am perfectly safe. Oh my gosh, there's so much salt in my seat. Yeah, we're gonna have to do like a full-on vacuum here tomorrow, but it's worth it if it makes the picture pretty, right? But she even has the exact same phone cord as I do. Has Paul ever chewed on her phone cords? Never. Oh, with the pigment. Well, if it helps you feel any better, makes you feel better. I don't know. But here, check this. Okay, I can't hold it still. I'm sorry. It is non-toxic. Not all of our Tisa supplies are non-toxic. I mean, some oil stuff isn't. But the watercolors we're using today are non-toxic, so that's totally safe. Not that I'd go and feed the cat paint, but if for some reason he looked at my palette and went, yummy, and he licked it, it wouldn't hurt him. But yeah, so needless to say, I have expensive equipment in here, and he is not allowed anywhere near my cords unsupervised. If I have my phone card in the bedroom charging my phone at night, I have to hide it. I ordered myself a new cord for my phone because my other one overheats because, surprise, surprise, he chews it. And so now I have this that I'm going to put on the new phone cord. I'll let you know if it works, but it's basically, this is like a wire mesh so he can't get through to the cord and it'll cover it. So it looks like, this one's a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna try the smaller one and then return what doesn't fit, but it's this little micro metal mesh or whatever, and I'm gonna put it around my phone cord so he stops eating my things. Paul is cute, but he's a little turkey sometimes, eating my stuff. Look at that salt all over her. We've seasoned our page well. Oh, he only does it to my stuff. Oh, salt dough. Gosh, that's been age since I've done that. I should do that with the kids this summer. They probably love that. Because you bake it in the oven afterwards, right? My mom used to do that with us. All right, let's feel this. That feels... that still feels a little... I put a lot of water on this page. We're going to turn this on high. Yeah, he doesn't do it to anybody else's. He leaves Steve's stuff alone. Like, it's... I mean, no, it's really not even all cords. It's mostly my headphones and my phone cords. But like, I was listening to an audiobook the other night and he crawled into my lap and he wanted snuggles and I'm listening to it and I had my headphone kind of draped near my neck. He reached up and started like he was gonna start chewing on it. I'm like, dude, I'm right here. Like, literally sitting here. All right, let's sweep all this salt off the desk. I'm either gonna have 7 years bad luck or 7 years good luck for all this salt. I'm gonna need to vacuum the chair, all the things. All right, let's get the rest of this off. Yeah, that kind of made a nice little rough texture on it. I'll show you here in just a second. Okay, I gotta stand up and brush this off myself. This is, I'm immediately regretting this decision. No more salt on streams. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm salt-free. Or I've just seasoned myself for the giant that lives on the beanstalk next door. Right? Yes, Apple charging cords are friggin' expensive, man. Like, are you aware that this thing's like over $20, Paul? You're gonna chew my stuff, at least get a job so you can replace it. That is true. That is true. All right. Get these clips off because we're done with watercolor now. Oh my gosh, so much salt. Like everything sounds like all crunchy on the desk now. Okay. Well, I just gotta stay away from any magic beans, so you know, no giants come after. Okay. Oof. Salt everywhere. I'm gonna dab that up because I don't want that to. There we go. Okay. That chaos is done. Sweep all that away. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. We got this now. Time for the fun stuff. What time is it? Oh, we still got time. We got like 20 minutes. We can get a jump start on this. Because I do want to finish the page. So I mean, we still have the vines and stuff to do. Okay. Let's go. So for our green colors, obviously we are limited with the number of greens we have. We really only have this one dark green, the olive earth, but I want to add a little bit of variation with it. So I don't think I want to do black. We could do a little bit of ink blue, Oh, thanks, Bird Lady. I mean, to be fair, though, it's not like if I had to go in between all of the vines and stuff, that would take me ages. Absolutely ages. So I'm definitely like taking shortcuts for sure. Okay, let's get a little bit of chocolate. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with the olive earth. Okay. There we go. And we're going to start with the corners. Like I said, I wanted to create a bit of a like a vignette around the edge, which is kind of when you see that kind of darker color that sort of frames it. That's what we're going for. So we're going to go ahead and start with this. We're not going to do a ton. We're going to see how much darker this gets. Obviously, we have the other colors. I'm going to use that blue maybe as a last resort. I'm not really feeling the blue because I want to stick with this kind of natural green. You found your Posca pencils. Nice. And then obviously we still have the border to do, but I have no idea what I'm going to do for that. Okay, so we're just going real light. I'm not going to use a blender pencil for this because we basically have that tooth already covered because we used watercolor on it. But this was another reason why I didn't want to break down the fibers of the page too much, because I knew we were going to be putting pencil on top of it, and if we broke down those fibers, we weren't going to be able to press too hard or layer too much. Okay. So holding the pencil further back helps with not adding too much pressure. Gives you a little bit more control about how much pigment you actually put on the page. So we're just trying to go very light. If we want to, we can always take our paint pen and go over some of these white spots that we added. There we go. Oh, sorry. Would help if you guys could see everything. I'm going to keep her zoomed out just a little bit so that you can follow along. And having it darker on the outside but lighter on the inside kind of makes her pop just a little bit. Oh no, nightmares, what? Yeah, adventures with mixed media, exactly. Salt was definitely our obscure art supplies for tonight. But see, we still have a lot of that. And that's another reason why I don't want to use the blender, because we have the texture of the salt that's still kind of coming through. And if we were to use the blender, we might make that disappear. Also why I don't want to do too much pencil, because then it would most definitely disappear. So we're just going kind of light. If you want to get at your darkest point, you can do down in these corners. Let's see, let's do up here. Got the Indiana Jones theme song stuck in my head now. Okay, let's turn this just a little bit. What am I missing? I'm doing a color challenge. Use the... I certainly not. Oh, yeah, Atlanta is her actual name. I don't know. I always just default to ambient because that's what I've called her from the beginning. I think my brain would hurt if I switched it up now. But yes, Atlanta is ambient. Okay, a little bit on the top. It helps to clean up any of those edges you might have missed. Oh my gosh, tripping all over my words tonight. You might have missed with the watercolor because we were going so fast. Okay. All right, so that's good. Now what I think we're gonna do, because so we have these vines, and if you watched Barbara's, you would have seen that she created kind of these almost shadow vines. So what I want to do is we're going to do this vine right here. We're going to color it all the way, and then we are going to do a more quieted version in the background. I don't know if those are the correct terms to use, but that's where my brain is going. Of course, I don't know if we're doing all these vines. Do we really want to do this for a third one? I don't know. At this point, considering how much we're getting done, I'm going to do a poll. Okay, so do we want to do this page for a third stream? Question mark. Okay, so we're going to do yes or start something new. My feelings will not be hurt. This is why I asked, because I want to know how much more of this page do you guys want to see, or do you want to do it on your own? I don't know if anybody's actually following along or however else, but I want to make sure that it is something you're enjoying seeing. We've touched on pretty much everything, so it wouldn't be a far stretch to finish this on my own. Like I said, my feelings will not be hurt if you want to do something new. Fine with me either way. I am using the olive earth still, by the way. Because if I do these vines and then show you how I do the kind of shadow vines, it could work. Big greenhouse, Golden Gate Park. Oh, that'd be pretty. that run for a little bit. Let's see, let's do this here. And we're gonna do these vines here so that we have something to work with behind it. Because you will get to see the finished page. So if you're like wondering where to place the vines, you'll see it on the finished one. I have no problem finishing this with UNL too. These little dots, I think we're gonna do a gel pen on. I need to find the right color though, because I don't want to do some sort of like super bright green, you know? Okay, and then I also used a little bit of the chocolate. Okay. We're going to, on some of these, am I still in frame? Yes. On some of these darker areas, we're gonna use chocolate to create those kind of stronger shadows. We might even end up darkening up the background even more once we start putting the vines in. But as I'm filling these in, I'm paying attention to the shapes of the vines. Now, Barbara was doing Johanna Basford. She was doing Johanna Basford, and those vines I know pretty well. And if you didn't, you can always use the How to Draw Inky Wonderlands book as a guideline. But since this is Christine Karron, and it's not, you know, similar to the How to Draw, I need to pay attention to how these vines are all drawn if I want to recreate some of them. Okay, so now let's grab, this is the Crag Green. Oh, we actually have a 60% yes. Okay, how many votes do we have? 15 votes, about 60-40. I'll let it run for a little bit longer, just in case. All right, so Crag Green. I do want to leave a little bit of spot because we have some yellow that I used on here as well. Oh, I forgot about this one here. Don't do this darker green. That poor little leaf is just going to disappear. There we go. All right, so Crag Green. And I did this one before, but I want a little bit more darkness to that. Okay, so now let's grab the yellow. And we're going to do yellow ochre. And that's what's going to kind of help set it apart from the background. And it's still showing through that paint really easily. There we go. Okay, so now that we have one of these, what we're going to do is we're going to add in those kind of shadowed vines. So it's going to be like in the background, like she's wearing some on her head, but maybe she's got a bunch of it back there. So, oh, nice, ambient. Oh, no, yeah, that's totally me. When I first started, I had a list next to me on the wall. Okay, so now let's grab, let's see, which one do I want? Because if, you know, I want to make sure I'm getting the lines right. We're just going to go lightly with the olive earth. So if you look at how she did these, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 main branches. Now, of course, this branches off, but it's not like it's one with a bunch of little swirlies coming off of it. So she has the main branches with the extra swirlies. So let's first, before we go pencil to paper, because it's going to be hard to erase that since we already have pencil there. So we've got this corner here. So let's say we're coming from this corner. We're going to be doing something along the lines of this. And then she's got the little things that are coming off of it, but she's also got some leaves. My trick is to make this look like hers, but not like the Johanna leaves, because I have a tendency. See, my issue already is that I've made that too curvy. I've made that too curvy. Are we in focus here? So that's not going to be correct. That's not going to, like, this one's a little bit curvy. And of course, it's going to be thicker than this. We just have a single line right now. So let's try instead, let's do a single. It's not quite as wavy. So let's do this. So it's always, if you want to get more comfortable, definitely practice before you put pencil to paper. I'll do a curve there. We'll do a leaf here. Of course, her leaves are kind of pointed. There we go. Let's see, we could do another smaller one there. See, that looks a little bit more like it. So we're going to be going for something more like this than something, you know. Okay, so, and we want to make it size-wise. It's just not going to stand out quite as much. I think, will this show up? Doesn't really show up. Like, I feel like I want to do something really light. We'll just go really lightly with this olive earth, okay? So normally when I draw pencil to paper, I'll like do a sketchy thing, which we might kind of do because the idea is the vines behind here won't be nearly as defined as these ones. So go ahead very lightly, and we're going to sketch, that's one vine, okay? And then we're going to have one come down here, a little swoopy. That's two vine. Let's see, let's have this one, let's do a shorter one here. 3. We can have this one extend out from this one. 4. We'll add our extended leaves onto it when we are done. Okay, then do we want to, I don't know that we'll include any large leaves, but we'll have little leaves that come off. So does she have any overlapping? She has some overlapping over here. Sorry, I'm kind of like talking my way through this. So let's do, okay, with having this one in the background behind this. So that one's going to go there. Okay, then let's do here. We're going nice and light, 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 light. Let's have one kind of pointing the other direction. There, we'll have stuff that's kind of coming off of it. Another one that comes here. I don't know that I like that one, but it's kind of on there already, so we're gonna make it work. Yeah. Okay, then let's do here. It's a little similar shape to the one next to it. So we're going to get one that kind of comes off on that side. Okay, then we've got over here. We're going to do a shorter one. And let's do one that comes off this way. I don't want to have the vines pointing too many unnatural kind of ways. Okay, so hi Renee, thank you. Okay, so here's what we're going to do for these vines. Obviously, the detail on these ones that are in the foreground, they're going to have a bit more depth because we've got the shadow, we've got the light, but the idea is I want these to be an almost shadow kind of vine. So the right now we just have these lines, but the thickness of the vines is going to be just this pencil. We're going to darken it up. We're not going to have any bright yellows on these. So let's go ahead now. We want to add in all the little swirls and the swoops like she did. And we're not going to do the dots on these ones because these are meant to have less detail. So let's get a leaf here. So don't be afraid to just kind of sketch in your vines and leaves because these don't need to be super detailed. We need them to be more subtle. Okay, we had this one that was here. I don't want it to get too busy either, so I don't want to overlap too many of the little swirls and little daily bops. That's a technical term for it, daily bop. Okay, so now we're going to get in a little swirly here, and that's just what we're adding. We're adding our leaves and our little swirly bits. Okay, let's do a leaf there. And a little swoopy one there. I really don't like that one. I'm going to see if I don't like the way that's crossed. Try and lighten it a little bit. I might need to put some pencil over it again to make up for it. But I think when we're done layering everything, it won't stand out as much. Like I said, it's hard to erase these once we've already got this all sketched in because now it's created a little bit of imbalance. Thankfully, the color underneath is paint, so it's not going to go away. So these ones here, that one there. Let's do a leaf here. And let's do another leaf here. I'll look up in chat here in just a minute. This is just my brain working out a puzzle. Ooh, speaking of puzzles, I think you guys have heard me before talk about the Johanna puzzles. Well, I have all of her Johanna puzzles that went out. She doesn't, like, they're not available anymore. And at one point, I had gifted my mom the only other one that I don't have. Well, she has since moved and they've downsized a lot of their stuff. So she found it, which means she's gonna send it to me, and I'll have the full set of all of the Johanna puzzles. So I'm excited about that. It's the little things. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna do a little bit thicker. Hi, Astrid. New here during live stream, so happy to see everyone. But it's 4:53 at night here. Oh my gosh. Get some rest. Sounds good, Astrid. Thanks for stopping by. All right. So now we are going to thicken up these lines a little bit. Okay. We want them to be as thick as the other ones, but not as defined. Not as defined. So we've got these ones out here. And we've got this one here. Now, I didn't quite add swoopies on all of these. That's the technical term for it, the swoopies. So I'm going to, ones that I've missed, we're going to add on to, are going to make them stand out a little bit more. Okay. Oh, I forgot to check. How is the thing? Oh my gosh, we're 50-50. Well, 52-48, but I suppose we'll see how far we get then. Okay, so if they're a little bit smaller than the ones on the main part, that's okay, because they are meant to be in the background, not the foreground. So there's going to be, you know, less width to them in general. Right now they look pretty flat because we're just using the one color. But once we add a little bit of variation, it's going to make more sense. Let's see. Oh, that's right. That one came across here. I was like, wait a minute. What is this one attached to? Okay, that's a little thing. That's a little thing. We are actually going to darken up the vignette a little bit, so this kind of almost blends in with it. There we go. All right. This can get a little bit darker. Okay, so now, oh gosh, sorry, that wasn't in frame. Oh no, Minty. Okay, so now, let's see. Again, we have a limited color palette, so we want to think this through a little bit. So we're going to grab chocolate. Okay. I'm going to grab chocolate. We are going to add to the vignette with this. Actually, before we do that, we're going to go ahead and add the definition to these, because if we get it too dark, we are going to lose some of the definition on these vines. So we're going to use the chocolate to help create that definition. Okay. I am pressing a little bit harder here. It's a good thing I don't have a face cam, because I just caught myself sticking my tongue out in concentration. There we go. It's not, like I said, these aren't meant to be highly detailed because they are in the background. Wait, what? Why do people suck? Yes, yeah, for the Holbeins, yeah. Amazon Japan apparently has the best deal for that. All right. I don't know what time it is. 9:59 already? Where did the time go? Okay, well, we're not going to go quite yet because I want to get this portion done here. Okay. You see how that's still kind of dark? This one stands out more than these, and these definitely fall into the background. See, where did this one go to? This one came to this one here. Trying to keep track of all of the little swoopies. heavier there in the back portion of it. My instinct is to add blue, but I really don't want to do that because then it's just gonna, we don't have any stark blue on here, so it's gonna pull away from the color palette that we're working on. Okay, so let's go in now. Gosh, if I had another green, I would do that, but we're gonna try and stick with what we got here. Let's do, let's see, let's get a little bit more of the chocolate here. I want to make sure that that's going to stand out. You know, it's a focus night when I'm not even doing normal chatting. I'm talking more about what we're actually doing. I keep kind of like sitting back to look at this. All right, let's go ahead and, right, Deborah? I love it. All right, so let's use the olive earth, okay? And now that we've got that kind of darkness at the base of them, they're not going to disappear as much when we add more of this olive earth, which is what we're going to do now. Again, if I was using a full range, I might do something different, but this is what we're working with. Like I said, I want these to be almost like, think of it like an embossing on something. Like I kind of, that's how I'm imagining it to be. And I like that it's still got that kind of rough texture. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can get kind of an idea. There we go. An idea of what we want it to be like. We're gonna get another green here in a minute. Keep this dark green on the edge. So the inspiration for this background came from Barbara Colors. She's doing a very similar background with different pencils, different colors, different artists. But if you are not familiar with Barbara Colors, you definitely need to check her out. You can type in !Barbara in chat, and the link for her channel should come up. So if you do not follow her already, you definitely should be. Now we're going to add more of these vines to the other area too, but we're basically just adding to all of that. Okay, so now I want to get a light green. We're going to get the crag green. And we're going to start to blend this. We may get a very light blue to layer on top, just so we don't lose that kind of coolness to it. I don't want to go completely warm. And of course, I still need to do these vines down here. Question, do any of you bind your coloring books? If so, what method do you choose? Leslie, you should talk to Shannon. She is the binding queen. I've gotten a few spiral bound, but it's not something I've pursued. But Shannon has a machine and everything, and she does it on her channel. So definitely check her out for those. Sorry, !Lurky for Shannon's channel. I realize I'm telling you that, but if you aren't familiar with her, you won't know where to go. !Lurky in chat. Okay, so we're gonna grab a little bit of this ink blue. Oh, so does Emily. It helps on the pocketbook. That's, wait, what about me? Oh, yes, deals and coupons, yes. Yeah, Renee always has good deals that are posted. All right, we're gonna use just a little bit of this ink blue. We're not gonna go real heavy because I want this to be mostly green, not blue. But I do want to add just a little bit of that coolness, just a little bit, especially in this darkest part here. Not pressing very hard. Let's see, do I want to add more of the olive earth? I think so. Thank you, Ronnie. Yeah, sales and coupons. There we go. Okay, I'm really liking that. How are you guys kind of seeing the vision that I have for it? And for the outside, since we have so much green, let's do kind of like a brownish red. So let's start with chocolate on this darkest area here. Okay. So chocolate, and then we're going to bring in the, thanks, Susan, or Sue. Do you want to go by Susan or Sue? Because I know it used to be just Sue. Thanks, Sarah. Like I said, practice on a sheet of paper. Like I knew I was going to work from the corner, so I kind of like was pretending this was the corner. Yes, made. Okay, so Ruby Earth. Okay. All the way down. Yeah, I like that a lot too. And this works because the complementary color of red is green. So that's what we've got going on there as well. Okay, and then let's grab the Mars Violet as our lightest color. And then we'll continue it where we do the chocolate all the way up to, so it'll be chocolate, red, Mars, red, chocolate, if that makes sense. So the chocolate will all be in the darkest parts of the corner here. There's a slightly shadowed area here, but I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with that. I may just leave it. So let's bring that down there. There we go. All right, and then let's grab, I can zoom in just a bit. Let's grab the red. There we go. So it'll connect like that. So now that we see how dark it is, let's go ahead and go in with the ink blue. Just a little bit. Remember, we don't want this to be too heavily blue, but we're working with the colors that we got. Okay. Now let's get the, where did it go? This is the Olive Earth. In hindsight, considering how much I ended up covering this all up with pencil, probably don't need the salt. It probably was not worth the mess. I mean, there's a texture here and everything, but I forgot about how much pencil I was actually going to use on top of it all. So it's not as important. Like I said, though, I'm not using a blender pencil on this background. What you see is what it'll be. Okay, let's use a little bit more of the Crag Green. So that's the kind of idea. The rest of the vines on her head are going to look like this, and the same thing using the chocolate brand, the olive earth, the Crag Green, and the yellow ochre is what's used there. And then we're gonna do, I don't wanna use the gel pen yet, but we will do like a, it'll be another muted darker green. If I can't find any good gel pen that I'm happy with, then we'll just do pencil on those little dots. Could even do like a bronze there, I think. It was chaotic to do the salt. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that kind of covers it, and that might be a little redundant if we keep streaming the rest of this. But you get the idea of what I'm going to do. So like I won't probably add too many vines up in this corner because there's already quite a bit. We have a lot more room to add some more muted vines there. So, you know, I don't want to overwhelm it to where it's too busy, but in the empty spaces that we have, I will be adding more vines. A little bit. But you get the idea. And it's a little bit darker for me than it is for you guys, but you kind of get the idea of what it is. And there's really not too much warping of the paper. It's really not too bad. It helps when you dry it a lot more. So I'll definitely finish this one. But I think honestly, we'll probably start something new on Wednesday. And no, this will not fall to the wayside of the many work in progresses I have. No, I've worked too hard on this to let this one go to the side. So I'll definitely finish it, but I think it would just be redundant to work on it next time. So I think something new for next time would be good. I know it's 10:09, but I think we have time for at least one game of Words on Stream. So let's pull that up real quick. I'm assuming y'all would like to play a little Words on Stream. Ooh, actually, before we go, I said I was going to show, hang on, the sticker designs. I got them sitting right here, but I'm like reaching under my monitor because I tucked them back to keep them safe, that we have for August Sticker Club already. It's going to be a honey and bee themed one. So this is the honeycomb. We've got, there'll be 5 blackberry blossoms. We've got the honeybee with little sparkly wings. Well, not actual sparkle, but in the drawing. In the drawing, it's got sparkle wings. Why is that not in focus? There we go. And then we've got the jar of honey. And then it's the flying panda. I don't know. I'm really pleased with the way these ones turned out. And like I said, I'm still working on the design for the sticker sheet. So if you are curious about these or want to check them out, you can type in !Ko-fi. It's been running through during stream. But you have the entire month until you have until what, August 1st to sign up for these. So they're gonna be super cute. I'm excited to get them out. Right, Ev? I'm so excited to finish it. I wish I had more time to work on it, but that's why I have the whole month, so I can get them out on time. All right, so let's go ahead, get these off her face. But look, she's got little bees hanging out with her. All right, so let's continue. Steve, are you gonna play words on with us? All right, got the link there. Let's go to our games. There we go. All right, if you've never played before, you can just put your answers in chat, and yeah, it scores like Scrabble. You'll have to wait till it's unlocked, but to put in your next one. Sorry, my brain is not braining. I'm thinking all kinds of things today. It's like I have all these thoughts and words I want to get out, but then I'm not. Prolific bird lady, nice. There we go. Put these over here. Okay, let's see. It's killer bee. Okay, well here we'll put the there you go. The flying panda. Okay, so prolific. Let's see. What about prof, short for professor. Let's see. Flip. Oh, flop. Flip flop. No flop? What? Flop is so, I'm gonna try that again. Flop. Flop is totally a word. That's rude. Rude. Okay, fine. What about a royal? That's good. Do we do coil? Yeah, we do. Clop. All right, if I can't get flop, maybe they'll give me clop. Thank you. Wait a minute. Tina got flop. Why didn't, oh, maybe because it already accepted? I don't know. Words on stream is very confusing. Oh, didn't hear the sound effects. Oh, did I not? Hang on. Nope, they're not up. There we go. There we go. I forgot to turn the sound effects up. Sorry. There we go. Okay, let's see. Clop. Clor. Coley. Coffee. Coffee. Quar. All right, I see you. All right, skip 3 levels. Aspie, number 1. Hi, Aspie. Did I say hi to you? I don't think I did. Hi, Aspie. Yeah, claim. Oh, dang it. Yep, I was not even there. Thank you, Deborah. Ooh, call, C-A-U-L. That's a word. And call is a word. Well, dang. Oh, what about mica? Mica powders. Yeah, I got one. Alum, A-L-U-M. I'm locked out. There you go, alum. Yeah, bird lady, look at that. We cleared the board, very nice. All right, continue. Deborah and Aspie, number 1, very nice. Okay, there's a fake letter in this one. I'm gonna go with P-E-N-C-I-L, pencil. Oh, shit, how are you faster than me? You are so speedy. Oh, rude. No, I'm kidding. Let's see. What about clip? I want to do clop again. There's no O. Oh, chip. Oh, no, wait. The H is fake. Never mind. No chips for me. Oh, Megan. I'm glad I didn't do that word. Oh my gosh, you guys. I moved a flower pot today and I about had a heart attack. I was outside. I was doing the outside stuff. And I thought one of those bugs that shall not be named that we said pine green for was under it. But then I went back and looked and it was just a cricket. But I did have a tiny little heart attack because I thought there were a couple of those things in there. But it wasn't. They were crickets. I'm not saying the word, Steve. You know what kind of bugs. I don't say those bug words. Shannon and Aspie, number 1. Very nice. Stilts. Yeah, stilts. Okay, so, oh, stylist. I was gonna guess that the Y was fake, but the E is fake. Oh my gosh. Okay, tilts, stilt, stylist, list. What about yets? Oh, wait. Oh, no, we can do more than, we can do 4 letters. I was thinking there just aren't that many 4-letter words. Okay. What are you giggling about? Oh my gosh, Steve. God, what if that's the word? Do we know for sure it's not?
Renee checked.
Oh, Renee checked, okay. Oh, it held it. I didn't even see it. In that case, do I have to take one for the team? No, thank God, Leslie. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. Tilts. Just over there giggling like. Oh my gosh. You right over there, hun? What about silty? Is silty a word? Yeah, it is. Sweet. Let's see. So it could be start with an L. But L-I-T-T-S? Oh no, silts. I didn't even think of that. Oh my gosh. I don't know what the last one is. Stilly. I don't know. Yay, skip 3 levels, we're good. All right, Bird Lady, number 1 on both. Oh my goodness. Good job. Gauge, that's a lot of G's. Get cheating! Stealing my words again? Woman, you're too fast. Okay, so... Gosh, that's a lot of G's. Luggage, that would be why. Okay, it's a hidden L and a fake C. Luge. Yeah, I got one. Gale, G-A-L-E. Glue, there you go. Glug. Gaggle, nice. Go glug. If we know the E, we could do eagle. Let's see. Is that English? What is, hun, do you know what that word is? A-G-U-E. Ague? Is that how it would be pronounced? Yeah? Yeah, me either. It's making me think too hard. Ogle. No, because I know that's not how you spell ogle. It's making me question my ability to spell. What about egg? Egg-goo. It's the new generic brand of Eggo waffles. Egg-goo. I like waffles. Waffles are delicious. I have no idea what that last one is. But hey, we met our goal. Let's see, what do we got? Skip 3 levels. Why am I yawning? I had coffee at 7 o'clock at night. Oh my gosh. Aspie, number 1 on both. Oh my goodness. Snake. Sneaky snake. No, no snake. Okay, what about sneak? Uses the exact same letters, but maybe it'll work. All right, well, that's clearly one of the fake letters then. Okay, what about... Keens. Seeking the A. The A is fake. All right. So wait a minute, that means, oh, it's a hidden I. Fake A, hidden I. Okay, so... Knees. The bee's knees. Their knees, because they're bees. Bees knees. Genies. Ooh, genie. Am I still locked out? No, I'm good. Yeah, I got genie, because I totally just piggybacked off Aspie. Scene, that's good. Geeks, I like it. Let's see. Do kings? Yeah, we did kings. Oh, can we do that in plural? Oh no, there's not any more 6-letter words. Never mind. I'm just trying to piggyback off Aspie constantly. She's just too good, so I'm like, well, I'll just do what she's doing. What about S-K-E-E-N? Well, no, if it'd be another E, it would have gone before skate. That was tricksy, but we did good. We did good. All right, that should get us skip 3 levels, which will bring us to level 19, which means hidden words. Hidden words. We have to pay attention. Aspie number 1 on both, blowing us out of the water. All right, so there's a hidden letter, a fake letter, and the answers are hidden. So let's do the ING. Oh no, what does Shannon do? I don't know. Len, no, let's see. Oh my gosh, Ev, Bird Lady. Bird Lady did slide, Ed did lines. Okay. So I'm pretty sure the G then is the fake letter. What about idols? There you go, idols. Okay. So fake G. Pretty sure, fake G. So, what about lined? There we go, lined. Gosh, what is that hidden letter? Listen? Listen? Could it be a T? Oh wait, what did Bird Lady get? Sliding? No. I missed which one. Sidle. Okay. Do we know what the hidden letter is yet? Tina. Tina got snide. Ooh, that one's good. Oh, Aspie. Linseed. It's another E. It's another E. Okay, so... oh. Did we get needles? Needles? Needle? Oh no, that's 3 E's. Never mind. Oh no. Needs, yeah. Okay, what about, leads? Dines. Did we get dines? No, we got dines. Dang it. And I didn't even spell it right. No! Oh. Oh, that's so hard and you can't see it. Because then you gotta like keep track of what everybody's doing too. Oh my gosh. That was hard. That was hard. But good job, guys. I'm proud of you. All right, we're gonna turn that back down. I know we only did 1, but it is closing in on 10:30 here. which is usually our past stopping time, but I feel like we did good. So I'm gonna finish this one up on my own and we will start something new on Wednesday. I don't know what yet, I'll think. Maybe something will pop up between now and then. Yeah, well, that's why her command is ! Lurky. She is an expert lurker. Anyway, well, that's about it. So I'm gonna wrap that up. But yeah, if you want to check out the bee stickers or keep up on all things Sticker Club, at least you can follow on Ko-fi to get the updates, see if there's any stickers that you want to get. No more announcements for now. If you want to see the comparison of the new Prismacolors and the replacement ones, wow, that music's probably really loud. Then watch back to the beginning of the video, but I'll probably also post a reel doing that as well. All right, everyone. Thanks for stopping by, and have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Keep being awesome. All right, thanks for being here. Bye.